Okay, we're working with a 1998 Honda Accord 4-cylinder EX, and what I'm doing today is replacing an O-seal that was pinched and cut on fuel injector. We've got our 4 fuel injectors here, and to save us the time, I've already taken everything apart. I've taken the fuel rail out, and I'm in the process of cleaning our fuel injectors and the seals that are still good. We get our fuel rail here. Basically the fuel travels through this rail. There's small passages or paths inside that lead out to these bored holes, one for each cylinder, one for each injector. I don't know if you can see it, but inside you can see the path, just barely, of where the fuel travels. And this is where we hook up our vacuum hoses. And this is our threaded banjo connector for our main fuel line. We're going to come back a little bit later, get some carb cleaner, and clean this thoroughly, just to get any gunk out that may be trapped in the fuel paths. Right here we got our main fuel line, right above the firewall in the engine here. And you got to be careful when disconnecting this. This is one part I should have recorded, but as you can see, right there is where our fuel comes out, and this just goes around our connector on the other end of the fuel rail. Basically what I've done is, before I got started, I wanted to release a little pressure from the fuel lines and the fuel tank. So I've loosened the cap, kept it loose throughout the duration of this video. From there, when it comes time to take the banjo connector off of the fuel rail, basically I had to use, I believe it's like a 3/4 inch wrench. I think it was maybe a little bit bigger, but it's screwed on right here, as you can see, and our little banjo connector is right here. So you just wrap your wrench around that, not the plastic part. You don't want to bust up this plastic head, but you want to take your wrench, wrap it around here, and unscrew it counterclockwise. Oh, so slowly though. It's very important that you do it slowly. Otherwise, you're going to have a pretty bad fuel spew. It's going to go everywhere like a stuck pig. So, what you want to do is loosen it, kind of like a 2-liter Coke bottle or a 12-ounce Coke bottle that's been shook up. You know, you want to ever so slowly loosen it to allow the pressure to escape. And then once the pressure escapes, then you can take the banjo connector off. Okay, so I've taken my fuel rail and soaked it with some basic carb and choke cleaner. A couple of spritzes in each hole, and then a spritz through the threaded connector on the other end. I'm not going to turn it over, it will spill. I'm going to let that soak, and then I'm going to shake it clean, maybe get some canned air to blow it out. Alright, I'm going to go step by step on cleaning your individual fuel injectors. You got 4 of them. Really not a whole lot to it. So there really aren't a whole lot of steps per se for this process. Here's your fuel injector, and you've got some seals on there that you got to be really careful not to pinch, break, or even just disturb too much. Right by your electrical connection here, you got a little O-ring seal, and at the very top you've got a filter. This filter with the black lining here actually comes up and out. You can take that out and you can soak it with some carb cleaner, allow it to dry, and put it back in there. That'll clean all the gunk out. But this O-ring here on my injector number 1 has been pinched when I tried to put the fuel rail back in. Last time I was cleaning out my EGR, put the fuel rail back in, and went in at an angle, too much of an angle, and it pinched it and cut it going in. So you got that one, and then you got this one right here. I'm going to try to push it up a little bit so you can see. But yeah, as you can see, you got another seal right there. So that one, if you're cleaning these injectors, be sure to take off all your seals before you spray it down with carb cleaner. That's not very good for it. You got another seal right here which goes down in the bore of the fuel rail. Then you got another O-ring seal right here. This portion does not come off. Filters on the other end. But you got an O-ring seal right here. Like I said, be sure to take those off before you spray down your fuel injector with carb cleaner. And also don't get any carb cleaner on your electrical connection here. Try to keep that dry. Once you do that, and you rub down all the surfaces that these seals meet up with, then dry off your seals, clean them off a little bit, and then put them back on the fuel injectors. And it really doesn't matter which order you put your fuel injectors here. I've got them numbered. And the reason why I do is I've got a cylinder 1 misfire, so I'm trying to troubleshoot that problem by swapping injectors after I'm finished up with this. Okay, so I've done a little shopping. Had to get my seal replacements for my fuel injector. They come in a set. Unfortunately, they aren't sold individually, and this is the guy that I need right here. This little individual O-ring, which is going to go right there, right around there on that guy. So we'll get that replaced, and we'll start reinstalling the fuel injectors. So we got our fuel rail here. It's all cleaned out. I ran carb cleaner through it and let it sit for a few minutes, and got some canned air and blew out all the gunk. There really wasn't much in this one, so it wasn't that big a deal. It wasn't really needed, but it doesn't hurt to do it. I ran the air through here, and then I ran the air through each individual bore for the injectors. Now I'm ready to install my injector with its new bright green, or I should say lime green, O-ring. So I'm going to install the injectors on the fuel rail first, and then reinstall them on the block. So basically they go in this direction with the electrical connection pointing toward the back. As you can see, I've got it in the general direction. It's going to go back on the block. So I've got cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. And number 1 here, I think what I'm going to do, since I have an alternate issue with this car, I'm going to put it in number 3.